Yes. You are watching Political Point Magazine. Where the right is right and the left, well, the left is always on the wrong side of history. Why? Because political minds want to know. So enjoy a conservative point of view. And let's talk pea soup. With tonight's top stories. Oh, man, and we challenged him not to do it, but Obama takes executive action on immigration. And the administration sparks a political backlash on this. And in the meantime, Gruber, that MIT professor that called Americans stupid, the architect of Obamacare, becomes a pain in the administration's side, in Obama's side there. And nuclear talks with Iran fail. No surprise there. And early this morning, we learned that Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel is stepping down. Yeah. And Bill Cosby, comedic icon, is in trouble over sex allegations. While Mayor de Blasio insults Kin at a tragic memorial, his tardiness. We will talk about all this and more with you, the viewers. And tonight, I am your humble host, William Mitro. All right, my friends. Yes. And well, my friends, it is interesting, the events that have been plopping up in the news, and it's not looking good for the Obama administration. Okay, now, meantime here, because Obama has now defied the Constitution and overstepped his boundaries, per se here. All right, and well, just take a look at this. Okay, it's not reflecting good on the administration here. But Obama takes executive action on immigration. Take a look.
Undocumented immigrants by paying them far less. All of us take offense to anyone who reaps the rewards of living in America without taking on the responsibilities of living in America. And undocumented immigrants who desperately want to embrace those responsibilities see little option but to remain in the shadows or risk their families being torn apart. It's been this way for decades. And for decades, we haven't done much about it. When I took office, I committed to fixing this broken immigration system. And I began by doing what I could to secure our borders. Today, we have more agents.
Wait a minute. Let me stop right there. Okay, now, when he took office, all right, he had the full support of both houses of Congress were in control by the Democrats, all right? And he did nothing on immigration reform. Nothing, I repeat, nothing on immigration reform, all right? He flat out lied to you right then and there, all right? Because when the Congress was, both houses of Congress, the House and the Senate, were controlled by the Democrats when he took office. He had the full support. He could have done something about it right then and there. Okay? Congress could have passed a law on immigration reform, but no, they didn't. You know what their big thing was? Their big thing was the stimulus porculus package. All right? And then also their other big thing was Obamacare. All right? No, nothing on immigration. Hello, nothing on national security. Hello. All right. So let me continue this here.
And technology deployed to secure our southern border than at any time in our history. And over the past 6 years, illegal border crossings have been cut by more than half. Although this summer there was a brief spike in unaccompanied children being apprehended at our border, the number of such children is now actually lower than it's been in nearly 2 years. Overall, the number of people trying to cross our border illegally is at its lowest level since the 1970s.
Wrong again, my friends. He lied right then and there too. All right. Now, for one thing, the Dream Act, okay, which was passed, okay, by Obama, okay, failed. Okay, more people are crossing across the border. Okay, now, and understand one thing here. Okay, we still live in a post 9/11 world. All right, so by Obama taking this executive action, you know, it just still opens the border up. Amnesty. This is his amnesty package. All right. He's approving amnesty to deal with the 11 million that we have here that are here illegally. All right. This is basically just amnesty.
Meanwhile, I worked with Congress on a comprehensive fix. And last year, 68 Democrats, Republicans, and independents came together to pass a bipartisan bill in the Senate. It wasn't perfect. It was a compromise. But it reflected common sense. It would have doubled the number of Border Patrol agents while giving undocumented immigrants a pathway to citizenship if they paid a fine, started paying their taxes, and went to the back of the line. And independent experts said that it would help grow our economy and shrink our deficits. Had the House of Representatives allowed that kind of bill, a simple yes or no vote, it would have passed with support from both parties. And today it would be the law.
He just lied right then and there too. All right. Now, the Senate bill that he talked about, you know, that the Democrats in the Senate passed, that bill never made it to the House, Mr. President. Okay, that bill never made it to the House. That's right. Okay, so you had a Democratic-controlled Senate, right? Okay, and then he talks about this bill that was passed in the Senate, right? But Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid never passed it on to the House. Okay, so the bill never got to the House, and the House never had the opportunity to put it up for a vote, Mr. President. All right. So he just lied to you right then and there. All right.
For a year and a half now, Republican leaders in the House have refused to allow that simple vote. Now,
that's a lie right then and there. Okay. Now, so like I just told you, okay, the Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid didn't even send the bill to the House. Okay. So it never got to the House. So I'm wondering what world that Obama is in right now. Because, you know, he's seeming to he's seeming to go against his word. Okay. Now, and I have a bunch of clips here. Okay. That I'm going to show you. All right. But he's seeming to go against his word. That he respects the Constitution. And it's you know that he respects the Constitution, and he's going to abide by the Constitution, right? And because before he even said that he doesn't have the authority to do what he's doing right now. All right, but let me show you this clip from back in 2008 when he was then Senator Obama. All right, and he was talking about how Bush was overstepping his authority. Take a look at this. All right, take a look at this. All right, it's coming in. Here it is. All right.
This is part of the whole theory of George Bush, that he can make laws as he's going along. I disagree with that. I taught the Constitution for 10 years. I believe in the Constitution, and I will obey the Constitution of the United States.
Really? You will obey the Constitution of the United States? Excuse me, Mr. President. You seem to be rewriting your own laws as you go along as well. Just take a look at the disaster that you did with Obamacare. Okay, kept on rewriting the law and stuff like that. Okay. And in the meantime, while you've been president, okay. Now, and I understand that there's a lot of people out there that have supported you, okay, on things, all right. Even supported you in becoming the first black president, all right. But my friends, it's just ultimately clear that that you haven't done, while you've been president, Mr. Obama, you haven't done jack squat for the black community. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Nothing even on this. Okay. Mind you, black unemployment in this country is like 12-13%. Okay. And that's twice that of white unemployment, which is like 6%. And you know, and in the meantime, you know, median household income for the black community is like 25-30 grand. You know, while median income for whites is 55 grand. All right. Okay. Now, so it seems to me that you can't trust the Democrats nowadays. Why in the world would you want to? Okay. Now, there's a new poll out that there's a new poll out that shows that Obama's approval rating has dropped to an all-time low. It's now at like 37%. Okay, 37%. In the meantime, you know, now some blacks are even catching on and complaining about the job that this president has done. Take a look. Right? Take a look at this.
He's been more hurtful to the black race than he has been helpful. And he turn around and say he's going to sign an executive order to create a minimum wage for federal services only. But what about the rest of us who don't have jobs at all?
Mr. President, you know, we probably be better off with you cutting your presidency off right now. Just quit.
Woo! That's really harsh there. Okay. So, it appears that with a lot of things now, that the Obama really doesn't have much pull here. All right. Because his policies have failed. Okay. Now, his policies, the stimulus package on the economy has not worked. All right. The Obamacare is falling apart. Okay. And speaking of Obamacare, you remember that Professor Grouper? Okay. Grouper? Well, it appears that he has become a thorn in Obama's side here. All right. So it appears that every policy has failed. His foreign policy is backwards. All right. He even went around Congress, okay, and sent a letter out to the president of Iran, right? You know, and in all of this, and it appears that the talks now have failed. All right. Even John Kerry came out and said that the talks have failed. All right. But this whole immigration thing is now sparking political firestorm. Okay. Is sparking a political backlash over this. All right. Okay. And I want to show you something that is quite significant. Okay. Even a police officer, okay, a sheriff, one of the sheriffs in one of the border states, I believe it's a Texas sheriff, okay, has had a formal complaint about Obama's executive actions. All right, it's creating political, and you notice that Obama has been doing this stuff, has been doing this stuff just when it's politically expedient for him. Okay. So he goes out there, puts out this executive action on immigration. In the meantime, on Friday he went to Vegas on taxpayers' expense, by the way. And he's creating political backlash over this. All right, and it's not looking good for the president. Okay, mind you, I want to show you this clip. Okay, because the administration just does not get it. All right, he's not in the majority here. Okay, so he goes out there and creates political backlash. All right, and there was a sheriff from Texas, okay, that formed a formal complaint saying that there was an illegal that came across the border, okay, and killed one of his deputies, or killed a couple of his deputies. All right, and he put the video out on YouTube, right? And it's all a result of Obama's failed policies on the border. Okay, we are still living in a post 9/11 world. All right, and you know, Obama takes this executive action, and it's just so not looking good. All right, and let me show you some other clips here. All right, because this is interesting what we have here. All right. So Obama goes to Vegas after he makes this political move. All right. And so I wanna get into this, because this, my friends, is totally ludicrous. All right, and it's on the topic of all of this. All right, because somebody has to say something. All right, but it's creating political backlash. All right, and so this is what he said on Friday. All right, on Friday, when he was in Vegas. All right, take a look. All right, here it is.
We're going to keep on working with members of Congress to make permanent reform a reality. But until that day comes, there are actions that I have the legal authority to take that will help make our immigration system more fair and more just. And this morning, I began to take some of those actions. Idly by and not do at least what I was authorized to do.
Well, Texas...
Really? Okay. Now, newly Texas governor, though, the Texas governor, Abbott, who was newly elected, okay, Republican, said that he's going to sue the president over his actions right now. All right, and it's not in the best of things here. All right, even our good friend John Boehner had to say a little something about this as well.
The action by the president yesterday will only encourage more people to come here illegally and putting their lives at risk. We saw the humanitarian crisis at our border last summer, how horrific it was. Well, next summer, it could be worse. And this action also punishes those who've obeyed the law and have waited their turn.
Yep. And so, my friends, it's creating political backlash. And, the president only acts when it's politically expedient for him. All right. Now, so the administration is just not coming to terms with all of this here. All right. And and so I want to get into something else here, okay? Because now with the backlash of the Gruber comments, all right, you got to see this, all right? With the backlash, the Obama administration appears to be trying to distance themselves from Gruber, but it appears that we have had tape of the president acknowledging this Gruber fella. Okay, but Gruber has created a little bit of a problem for Obama. Remember? Okay, but now on this note, okay, MIT professor Gruber, okay, is the architect of the Obamacare. All right. And you remember, we showed you some of the
It was written in a tortured way to make sure CBO did not score the mandate as taxes. If CBO scored the mandate as taxes, the bill dies. Okay, so it's written to do that. In terms of risk-rated subsidies, if you had a law which said healthy people are going to pay in it made explicit that healthy people pay and sick people get money, it would not have passed. Okay, just like lack of transparency is a huge political advantage. And basically, call it the stupidity of the American voter or whatever. But basically, that was really, really critical to getting the thing to pass. And, it's the second best argument. Look, I wish Mark was right. We can make it all transparent. But I'd rather have this law than not.
Lack of transparency. This is why we must not trust the Democrats anymore. All right? Because remember when Obamacare was passed, okay, all right, it was basically rushed and crammed down our throats, right? No transparency whatsoever, okay, on this, okay? And it appears that, also, you had the Democrats controlled both houses of Congress at the time, all right? And when they passed the bill, all right, you had Nancy Pelosi out there, who was the Speaker of the House, okay, and saying, oh, you have to pass the bill in order to find out what's in it. Okay, so there was no transparency in there. And then that bill passed. They crammed a bunch of stuff in there. And that bill passed with no Republican support whatsoever. No Republican votes, no Republican input into it. The Democrats basically controlled everything. All right? And you know what the sad thing is? Okay? Grouper, the architect of this thing, okay, who also we learned was also the architect of Romneycare in Massachusetts, all right, but and Grouper even stated that he after helping Romney with his health care package, he went to consult with Obama for his national package. All right. So this whole thing is becoming a thorn in Barack Obama's side. All right. Barack Obama's trying to distance himself from him, but there's videotape of the president actually acknowledging that he knows Grouper. And he consulted with Grouper. And the sad thing is, Grouper made millions of dollars consulting for Obama and the Democrats with Obamacare. So you gotta think that this is just the tip of the iceberg, but it's not over. Okay, this is gonna haunt the Democrats, and you notice that during the midterm elections, this is why the Democrats lost, was because the policies that Obama put on the ballot. Okay, these policies, he said these policies are on the ballot, every single one. All right. So everything from the stimulus to Obamacare, every Democrat that ran on Obama's policies and that was tied to the president got ousted. They got a throbbing. All right. And it just goes to show you that package passed with no Republican support. The American people didn't even want it. I believe it had like a 55 or 66 overwhelming majority disapproved of Obamacare when it was passed. All right, and I believe I have what transpired. Okay, there were some backdoor deals when Obamacare was passed. All right. For example, okay, I'm going to show you this. All right. Now, there was some backdoor deals on Obamacare, which you guys must see. All right. Now, take a look at this. This is one right here. Okay. Now, backdoor deals for Obamacare. All right. There was a deal that exempts 800,000 Floridians and $300 million for the state of Louisiana. $100 million for hospital construction in Connecticut. $2 billion and $2 billion increase in Medicare spending for Nevada, Wyoming, and Montana and Utah. All right. Then the next one, oh, you're gonna love this. Okay. $600 million. All right. $600 million Medicaid spending boost for Vermont and Massachusetts. Okay, and $850 billion in Medicaid funds for Arizona, Hawaii, Minnesota, and Massachusetts. All right, those were just some of the backdoor deals that happened in Obamacare. All right, you know, and this law is just the worst piece of legislation ever passed. The worst, the definite worst. All right. So you see, backdoor deals for Obamacare, it just didn't. That's what they did. You know, they just shoved a bunch of stuff in there. Backdoor deals. It was arranged in secrecy. All right. It was arranged in secrecy. All right. And Obamacare is just the worst piece of legislation ever passed. All right. And in the meantime, this Grouper fella, who was the architect of this thing, now becomes a royal pain in Obama's side. All right. Yeah. That's just the crux of the whole matter here. All right. And so, my friends, we come into a crossroads here. All right. And let me see. But now, okay. Mind you, okay. Now we have another situation here. All right. Now, you remember comedic icon Bill Cosby? Whoops, Obama is just okay. All right, yeah, right over here. Oh, yeah, right there. You see, remember comic icon Bill Cosby? All right. Yeah. Well, he has fallen into some trouble here. All right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, he has fallen into some trouble here. Now, apparently, okay, with all of this going on here, okay, Bill Cosby was the king of network television. Okay, he was a veteran NBC employee. Now, when Cosby invited young models into his Brooklyn home, all right, and when Cosby invited young models into his Brooklyn dressing room, the megastar's pal stood watch outside the door. When the married Cosby sought a queen's apartment for another pretty face, Scotty arranged the deal. Okay, well, his pal, his agent, said that he paid for a lot of things, but Bill Cosby seems to be in a little bit of trouble. There's sex allegations now with this here, and but take a look at this though. Okay, take a look at this.
Went up to his bungalow afterwards, He made me a drink, and very shortly after that, I passed out. I woke up or came to very groggily with him removing my underwear.
Why wouldn't you just say something to someone?
It's the guilt and the shame of the victim.
I, like everybody else, I thought Bill Cosby's hilarious, great stand-up comedian, Mr. Huxtable. He was supposed to be a mentor to you. What happened?
He was America's favorite dad. Everyone wanted him to be their dad. I wanted him to be my dad.
After dinner, in my room, he had given me wine and a pill, and the next morning I woke up and I wasn't wearing my pajamas, and I remember before I passed out that I had been sexually assaulted by this man.
Did you ever tell anybody about this?
I can't remember that. I don't want to implicate anyone because Bill Cosby is a very powerful man.
Well, it appears now that Mr. Cosby, the comedic icon, is in trouble. All right, and this, my friends, does not look good for Bill Cosby, especially since when the Associated Press interviewed him on this, and he tried to get them to not to report on any of this. Take a look at this.
On a separate note, I have to ask about your name coming up in the news recently regarding this comedian.
No, we don't answer that.
Okay. I just wanted to ask if you wanted to respond at all about whether any of that was true.
There's no response. Now, can I get something from you?
What's that?
That none of that will be shown?
I can't promise that myself, but you didn't say anything.
I know I didn't say anything, but I'm asking your integrity that since I didn't want to say anything, but I did answer you in terms of I don't want to say anything of what value will it have.
I hear you. I will tell that to my editors.
If you will just tell your boss the reason why we didn't say that up front was because we thought that AP had the integrity to not ask.
Cosby questioning.
Well, that is quite troubling, my friends. Okay, and I used to look up to Bill Cosby. He was one of my favorite comedians. But this, my friends, is just so beyond the pale. It's not the Bill Cosby that I thought. You know, it's not the Bill Cosby that I thought we would have in this. I mean, but it's just ridiculous. Okay, now in the meantime, though. Okay. In the meantime, though, all right. We have another incident here. All right, and this involving our mayor of New York City, Mayor de Blasio. Yeah, that's right, my friends. Mayor de Blasio. All right. Mayor de Blasio appears to be tardy most of the time. Okay, and this is another reason why you can't trust Democrats. All right. All right. So, we have our mayor of New York City here. All right. And let me tell you the crux of the situation here. All right. Now, Mayor de Blasio. Okay. Now, every year. Okay. Every year, the mayor is supposed to commemorate the anniversary of the 9 a.m. Flight that crashed. It's okay, but anyhow, yeah. But he's supposed to commemorate this was the anniversary of the of a plane that crashed in Bell Harbor, Queens, killing 260 on board, okay, and 5 on the ground, okay. Now, this happened in 2001, okay. Now, but now, Mayor De Blasio infuriated the loved ones of American Airlines Flight 587 victims by arriving 20 minutes late for a memorial ceremony on Wednesday last week, okay, and blaming it on bad night's sleep. All right. So apparently he was tardy to this. All right. He was tardy to this, right? Okay. And it's oh man. Okay. But apparently this is not the only incident. Okay. Hold up a second. 3. Okay. But apparently this is not the only incident. Okay. That he was tardy to. Okay. On December 5th, 2013, he was 50 minutes late to an announcement of a police commissioner, and he on January 5th, 2014, okay, he was 60 minutes late to an open house at Gracie Mansion. On January 6th, he was 50 minutes late to Harlem press conference on pre-K. On January 10th, he was 60 minutes late to a Department of Corrections graduation ceremony. January 16th, he was 43 minutes late to a press conference appointing commissioners. And February 10th, he was 35 minutes late to a state of the city speech in Queens. And he was on March 20th, he was 45 minutes late to a bill signing in Brooklyn. So apparently you can't rely on the mayor. Okay, apparently one of the kin that was at the ceremony, I had confronted the mayor over this. Okay, and she really ripped him a new asshole. Okay, over this because she felt that he was disrespectful and stuff, and he said I had a very rough night and woke up sluggish, and I should have gotten myself moving quicker. He told reporters. All right, but this tops all. You know, the victims of this incident, of this memorial, at this memorial, felt very offended by the mayor, and the mayor having just basically, the mayor just didn't show any respect for this. You know, De Blasio made his entrance. Okay, now he was supposed to ring the bell at around he was supposed to ring the bell at around. De Blasio was supposed to ring the bell. There was supposed to be there at 9:05. He boarded a police boat near Gracie Mansion at around 8:25 a.m. for what staffers thought would be a 35-minute trip, despite weather forecasts predicting fog and the night before. After the event, staffers blamed the fog for the mayor's lateness, but hours later, de Blasio said both the fog and his ragged condition Wednesday morning were responsible. Oh, so much disrespect. Okay, I just can't imagine it. Okay, now I'm not gonna get to a lot of what I wanted to talk about, but on this breaking note, okay, I'll get to the phone calls, but I also want to make clear that, okay, so I'll get to the phone calls in a moment here, okay, but Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel is stepping down, okay, that's right, okay, Chuck Hagel. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but he wasn't the best qualified for this job, all right. But Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel is now stepping down, and this is a very short tenure for him, okay, because he's only been Secretary of Defense for a year. Yeah, that's right. Only Secretary of Defense for a year. That's right. Okay. Now, but I felt that he wasn't the best. He wasn't really the best qualified for the job. All right. He wasn't really the best qualified for the job. And it would appear that you know, on its face, I guess you know, somebody was saying that he was probably fired behind the scenes, but that doesn't seem right, because but I guess the administration, he didn't really agree with the administration's position, because he started telling the truth about ISIS and whatnot really early in when Obama called ISIS JV, he was actually saying that ISIS is a bigger threat than Al Qaeda, and so so on that note, and I'm going to take some calls here. All right. Meanwhile, nuclear talks have failed in Iran. All right. Okay, but it is 272-0319 is the number. All right. And so we take all of this into consideration here. All right. But okay, but with all of this going on, okay, we have the executive, we have Obama going around Congress and just not cooperating. Okay, he thinks he can do everything himself. Yeah, that's right, everything himself. All right, and he's not really cooperating. Okay, he should have waited on this whole immigration thing. Okay, he should have waited. All right, and what is really the harm in taking in waiting until January, when the Republican Congress comes. Okay, so we have Chuck Hagel stepping down, and also in the midst now. So in all this chaos, okay, I also wanna show you this, okay, and in the midst of all this chaos here, all right, in the midst of all this chaos here, okay, we have also Attorney General Eric Holder stepping down, okay, and so now this is in the midst, you know, and I think I heard Senator Ted Cruz threaten that based on Obama's actions, on his executive actions, okay, that they were gonna block his appointees, every single one of his nominations, until he started to actually work with the Republicans to get things done. All right, but we have Eric Holder stepping down. We also have Chuck Hagel stepping down, and it's Obama is not in the best of terms right now. Okay, but on this note, okay, so Chuck Hagel steps down, and here's Obama on
myself extraordinarily lucky to have had him by my side.
President Obama went on.
Yeah.
Chuck Hagel,
but
pushed the idea.
But there's Chuck Hagel, okay, but Chuck Hagel is stepping down, and I say goodbye, good riddance. He wasn't really the best qualified for the job, okay, so I think that Obama is now losing. He's losing the war on ISIS. He's losing the war with himself. I would say also. Okay, but here's some more.
The word appropriate was.
This month came to me to discuss the final quarter of my presidency and determined that having guided the department through this transition, it was an appropriate time for him to complete his service.
Really? All right. So, but anyhow, Chuck Hagel stepping down. It's not looking good for the administration here. All right. In the meantime, we got lots of things on our plate here, but Obama takes executive action, and it doesn't look good for him. Okay, it doesn't look good for him. Okay. But Obama now finds himself in dire straits here. Okay. And my friends, it's not looking good for the administration. Okay. All right, but anyhow, we are coming down to the wire here. And I need to bring it down to the last words of the night. Okay, but anyhow, the last words of the night come from Jon Stewart, of all people. Okay, but okay, the last words of the night. Okay, and you have to take a look at this. All right, take a look at this. All right, okay. The last words of the night. Okay, come from Jon Stewart. All right, take of all people, he zeroed in on Obama, and his
Jon Stewart
executive actions. Take a look at this. All right. Okay.
The president looking to force policy changes on his own without Congress.
I'm intrigued and increasingly willing to go against the Constitution and entertain the notion of a two-branch government.
He's going to raise the minimum wage himself. An executive order to raise the minimum wage.
Of course. He'll do it himself. He doesn't need anybody. An executive order. Just him. Yep. President Obama is apparently now in the stage of his presidency. Yep. He's done talking to these people. And now he's just starting to tick things off his list.
And that's our show for tonight, my friends. We thank you for watching Political Point, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history. Follow me on Twitter at WilliamMetro2, and also check us out on YouTube. All right. Yep. Okay, we thank you for watching Political Point, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history.